What's the word, y'all? Actually, back in another YouTube video. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, bro. My hair's messed up. Look at it, bro. I'm finna take it down. Everything is a mess. But it don't matter. Today, we watching last meals of famous death row inmates. I don't know why I'm here, but I was like, it look interesting. Y'all want to know what my last meal gonna be? My last meal gonna be favorite meal of all time. I love Applebee's. It's my favorite restaurant. We gonna have that Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp. I know y'all know it. That oh my god. Bro, I'm having that. I'm asking for two of that, two of those toasty Cheez-Its, some mozzarella sticks, some pizza, not emos. That shit nasty. What else? Some grape juice, some Skittles. Um, that's really it. Like that's my like favorite. Like those are like my favorite foods. Like and maybe Burger King too. That's my favorite fast food. I'm gonna have at least like 8 things out there waiting on me, and I'm gonna die anyway. So if I get a stomach ache, I might die right then and there. So they can't kill me if I die. You know what I'm saying? If I die from a stomach ache or shitting on myself or fucking my stomach explode, cardiac arrest, it don't matter. So yeah, we finna hop into this. I don't know why I'm here, like I said, but yeah, let's go. I look crazy as fuck right now, but it's okay. Come on.
Imagine you knew for a fact that the next meal you ordered was going to be the last meal you ever ate, and you could have whatever you want. Would you go for your favorite comfort food?
Killing some asparagus, bro, is crazy for the last meal.
Well, if you want some ideas, you've come to the right place.
I had my mama cook for me. I ain't gonna lie. Some stew. My mom make the meanest stew, bro.
But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History.
She make these honey hot wings. So let me stop. Right. Some deviled eggs, bro. Baked mac and cheese.
Okay.
Green bean cat. Let me stop.
Foods of dead men walking coming now.
His bitch ass. Ain't that clown nigga?
John Wayne Gacy.
I think I did a report of him at school.
Who left this earth on May 10th, 1994. If you're the kind of person who's afraid of clowns, you may want to fast forward.
His ass probably wanted some fucking ice cream or something.
Becoming caught, Gacy was known for performing at charity events under the names Pogo the Clown and Patches the Clown. This particular clown is known to have assaulted or ended the lives of young men who he lured into his home. He was finally arrested in December of 1978, and his punishment would be by lethal injection, which he was sentenced to in March of 1980. He would live the rest of his life.
It's always March, my fucking birthday month, bro.
He is said to have spent a great deal of time painting. Gacy's last meal included 12 fried shrimp, an order of French fries, a pound of strawberries, and a bucket of chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken, original recipe. It's worth noting that prior to being convicted, Gacy actually managed 3 KFC restaurants. So whatever else you might say about him, you can say a lot. He was a man who believed in what he was saying.
He had like a nice meal, like he had like a nice lunch. Like fuck that nigga, I'm going all out.
On May 11th, 1982,
I'm gonna order some lavish shit too, probably.
Nancy Weller and her 2 daughters, including 10-year-old Christina and 5-year-old Catherine, who he shot as she was trying to escape him. Sentenced to die in the electric chair.
Good, fuck him.
His last days on death row at Florida State Prison in Stark, Florida, and went on to meet his maker on July 8th, 1999.
Fuck you.
His execution was completely botched, and witnesses say he was still alive after the power was cut. Alan Lee Davis remains to this day the last person whose sentence was carried out by electric chair in the state of Florida. For his last meal, Davis went with a mostly seafood-themed meal that included lobster tail,
everybody love that shrimp,
a pound of fried shrimp, and 6 ounces of fried clams. He also took half a loaf of garlic bread as a starter, a plate of French fries as a side dish, and then washed it all down with 32 ounces of A&W beer.
A&W beer is cool.
Probably not the endorsement.
I'll have a Sprite too. I forgot to put a drink. No, I said grape juice, but I put Sprite in there too. Okay.
In October of 2002,
she looked
Teresa
scary.
Lewis murdered her husband and stepson in order to cash in on a $250,000 life insurance policy. Lewis farmed the hit out to Matthew Jesse Schellenberger and Rodney Lamont Fuller, whom she had met at Walmart. Wow, Walmart does offer a lot of services. Lewis let the hitmen into her husband's trailer and tried to make the whole thing look like a robbery gone awry. Fortunately for her, her husband wasn't quite demised when the police arrived, and deputies heard him say that his wife knew who did it. On the advice of her attorney, Lewis pleaded guilty, hoping for leniency.
Dumbass.
But she was sentenced by way of lethal injection anyway. She spent her last days as the only woman on death row at the Fluvanna Correctional Center for Women in Troy, Virginia. This sentence was finally carried out on September 23, 2010. For her last meal, Davis opted for some
Peas,
American
bitch, you
classic
deserve to die.
fried chicken, peas with butter, Dr. Pepper, and for dessert, apple pie.
Peas, bitch, you deserve to die. Fuck you.
Ted Bundy, possibly the
Everybody love
most
their KFC
infamous of
too.
criminals,
I
confessed
fuck with
30
KFC.
homicides committed between
Fuck with my leg.
1964 and 1978. His total victim count, however, is not known and is often believed to be much higher. Bundy, who's been played in the movies by the likes of Mark Harmon, Zac Efron, and Chad Michael Murray, would pretend to be injured or pose as an authority figure, like a police officer, before knocking his victims unconscious and then taking them to another location. Bundy was captured in 1975, but escaped twice before finally being put away for good in 1978. On February 10, 1980, Bundy was sentenced to the electric chair, which was carried out on January 24, 1989, at Florida State Prison in Bradford County, Florida. Bundy, probably having lost his appetite knowing what was in store for him, passed on the chance to have a special last meal. Instead, he received the standard fare, which included steak cooked medium rare, eggs over easy,
That shit
hash
look.
browns, toast with butter and jelly, milk,
Why
and
the
juice.
eggs look like this? They not even scrambled. Scrambled your eggs, bitch. Like, nah, nigga.
Timothy McVeigh carried out the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. His attack,
Yeah.
which destroyed 1/3 of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, took the lives of 168 people and injured
Oh, yeah.
almost 700 others.
You're gone,
Police
bro.
caught McVeigh by tracing the vehicle identification number of a rear axle found in the wreckage of the bombing. The part belonged to a Ryder truck that had been rented in Junction City, Kansas. Employees there gave a description to an FBI sketch artist, and that sketch eventually identified McVeigh, who had
Damn.
been arrested on an unrelated gun possession charge in Perry, Oklahoma. McVeigh was convicted on June 2, 1997, and sentenced to meet his maker 11 days later. He would spend the majority of his remaining days on death row in Terre Haute, Indiana. His sentence was carried out on June 11,
That shit
2001.
crazy.
For his last meal, McVeigh
Ice cream.
kept it simple. All he asked for was 2 pints of mint and chocolate chip ice cream.
That's crazy.
Sacco and Vanzetti were Italian immigrants and anarchists. In 1921, they were convicted of taking out a guard and a paymaster during an armed robbery in Braintree, Massachusetts on April 15th.
They used to move so weird back in the day,
Despite
bro.
their numerous appeals being denied, Sacco and Vanzetti became famous worldwide. Legions of people believed them to be innocent, and protests were held all over North
That's
America
crazy.
and Europe, as well as in places like Tokyo, Sydney, Buenos Aires, and Dubai. Nonetheless, their sentences were carried out at midnight between August 22nd and 23rd of 1927. Over the years, evidence mounted in their favor, and in 1977, Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis said that they had been unfairly tried and convicted, and that any disgrace should be forever removed from their names. Sacco and Vanzetti's last meal is recorded as being the simple menu
That
of
shit
soup,
nasty.
meat, toast, and tea.
That soup
What
look
kind of
nasty as
super meat
fuck.
it was, unfortunately, is lost to history.
Yeah, where is the good meals? Like, what's going on?
Ricky Ray Rector took the life of a man at a dance hall after a friend of his had been denied entry. 3 days later, Rector agreed to turn himself in, but in a twist absolutely no one saw coming, he also took the life of the police officer who negotiated his surrender by shooting him in the back and then tried to take his own life with a pistol to the head. Despite
Wow.
the fact his botched attempt had effectively lobotomized him, Rector was sentenced to lethal injection. Arkansas Governor
So he tried to
and
kill
future
himself. It
President Bill
failed.
Clinton even returned home from the presidential campaign
How you
trail
going,
to oversee the
bro? How you gonna kill the nigga who fucking pleaded, like you did the plea deal with, bro? Like, how are you going? Okay, thank you, officer. Officer, get up. You and your truck, bah, shot him in the, like, damn, nigga. That's crazy, bro.
execution, which was carried out on January 24th, 1992. When it came time for his last meal, Rector requested steak, fried chicken, cherry Kool-Aid, and pecan pie for dessert.
Fuck Kool-Aid.
He finished everything except the pie.
That shit look
He
nasty.
told
I
the
never had
guard
pecan
he was
pie.
saving it for later.
That's crazy.
On May 26, 1980, Stephen Wayne Anderson robbed the Bloomington, California house of a retired teacher, Elizabeth Lyman. When Lyman saw Anderson in her home, she screamed, prompting him to shoot her. Anderson, who was known to have admitted to taking the lives of at least 8 other people, was convicted of the Lyman murder and sentenced on June 24, 1981. His sentence was carried out by lethal injection on January 29, 2002. When it came time for his last meal,
Got
Anderson
corn.
requested
Okay,
2
this-
grilled cheese
Okay.
sandwiches, a pint of cottage cheese, mahogany corn
Shmi-
mix, peach pie, chocolate chip ice cream, and radishes.
I fuck with all the stuff on the menu besides the radish.
Ronnie Lee Gardner took a man's life during a
I
robbery
never
in
had
Salt
red.
Lake
I think I
City.
don't
Then in
fucking know.
1985, while being moved to a court hearing over that homicide, he shot and killed another man during an unsuccessful escape attempt. Gardner was sentenced by way of lethal
These
injection,
niggas don't be
but
learning their
due to a
lesson,
now
bro.
eliminated quirk of Utah state law, he was allowed to opt for a firing squad instead, which he did. The sentence was carried out on June 18, 2010, at Utah State Prison in Draper. For his last meal, Gardner opted for the surf and turf. That is, lobster tail and steak.
Ice cream
He
and
finished
peach
it off
pie.
with
That
apple
shit
pie
hard, bro.
and vanilla ice cream,
Apple pie,
all while
whichever.
watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Well, the trilogy. Really trying to
Damn, you
push
can
that
request what you
institution.
want to watch too. Give me Total Drama Island. I'm watching all the seasons, bro, before I
On
die.
December 29th, 1979, the life of the manager of a Florida strip club called the Velvet Swing Lounge was taken when three men robbed the club. There were no eyewitnesses to the shooting, but 4 years later, Angel Nieves Diaz's girlfriend told police that he was involved. Despite some credibility issues with the witnesses who testified against him, Nieves was convicted and sentenced to receive lethal injection. Nieves would maintain his innocence until his dying day, which incidentally turned out to be December 13th, 2006.
I bet he didn't even
when his
get to
sentence
ask
was
for a meal
carried out
then.
at Florida State Prison in Rayford. Like everyone else on death row, Nieves was offered his choice of last
He
meal,
didn't even.
but he declined it. He was then served the standard meal given to those who had no special requests, but he refused to eat that too.
Exactly. If you maintain your innocence, bro, I want all this. Like, nah, bro.
Victor Harry Faguer was a drifter, and in the summer of 1960, he drifted into Dubuque, Iowa, where he rented himself a room at an old boarding house. Faguer went through the yellow pages, phoning doctors and telling them he was with a woman in need of medical care. Dr. Edward Bartels took the bait, and when he showed up, Faguer kidnapped him and stole his car. He was captured a few days later in Alabama, but by that point, he had killed Bartels.
I was gonna say, damn, he for kidnapping, but he killed
Despite a
his
plea
ass.
from the anti-death penalty governor of Iowa, President John F. Kennedy, who cited the brutality of the crime, refused to grant Faguer's request for clemency. Faguer spent his last days in the Iowa State Penitentiary in Fort Madison. His sentence was carried out on March 15,
It's always
1963.
March.
He would be the last person put to death in the state of Iowa. Faguer's last meal was about
What a
as simple
fucking
as it
bean.
gets. He had just one single olive with the pit still in it. So what do you think? What would you want as your last meal? Let us know in the comments below and why.
I told y'all what I wanted. These meals was weak as shit, bro. I'm ordering everything that I can fucking get, bro. What's the maximum? Oh, you said 20 things? Oh, okay. I'm gonna start listing off all shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, what the fuck, bro? But free the dude to maintain his innocence, bro. I think he did the shit. Actually, I know he did the shit, but still, he ain't even eat the shit, bro. He ain't even. They said, "What you want?" He said, "I don't even want the fucking food because I'm innocent as fuck. I'm not finna ask for all this bullshit, blah 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 blah. I know I ain't do shit. I'm not gonna eat your weak ass food that y'all make for me. Fuck that." So yeah, that's it. The video, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.